You spent 30, 40 years building up that IRA, quietly, paycheck by paycheck, so you could leave something behind for your kids. But a law that passed back in 2019 quietly turned that gift into a tax trap, and most parents have no idea it happened. Here's what changed. It used to be your kids could stretch an inherited IRA over their whole lifetime. Tiny withdrawals, tiny taxes. That's gone. Now, for most adult children, the IRS forces the entire account empty within 10 years. And every dollar that comes out of a traditional IRA is taxed as their income, at their rate, in their highest earning years. Do it wrong, and a $500,000 IRA can hand your daughter a $143,000 tax bill in a single year. I'm Ray. Today, exactly how the 10-year rule works, who's exempt, the one move that triggers the bomb, and how to pass your IRA so the IRS doesn't take a third of it. Quick and important. I'm not a CPA, attorney, or financial advisor. This is education, not financial advice. Inheritance and tax rules depend on your exact situation and your state, so always verify at irs.gov and bring a CPA or a state attorney into your numbers before you do anything. Let's start with what actually changed, because this is the heart of it. For decades, when your kids inherited your IRA, they could stretch the withdrawals across their entire life expectancy. A 45-year-old could spread it over 30, 40 years, taking out just a little each year, barely moving their tax bill. Then the Secure Act passed at the end of 2019, and it killed the stretch for most heirs. Now, if you're not a spouse, and most adult kids aren't, you fall under the 10-year rule. The whole account has to be emptied by the end of the 10th year after you pass. Same money, a fraction of the time. Which means a much bigger tax hit, squeezed into a much smaller window. Now, the 10-year rule has a wrinkle that trips people up, and it depends on one thing. Had you started taking your own required withdrawals yet? Remember from video 6. At 73, the IRS makes you start taking required minimum distributions, RMDs. Whether you'd hit that point when you passed changes the rules for your kids. If you pass before you'd started RMDs, your kids have flexibility. They can wait, skip years, whatever, as long as it's all out by year 10. But if you'd already started RMDs, your kids must take a withdrawal every single year, years 1 through 9, and still empty the rest by year 10. And miss one of those required withdrawals? The penalty is 25% of what you should have taken, dropping to 10% if you fix it fast. The IRS started enforcing this in 2025, so it's live right now. Now, not everyone is stuck with 10 years. There's a special group the law calls eligible beneficiaries, and they can still stretch. 4 kinds of people. 1. Your surviving spouse. They get the most options of anyone, and will come back to them. 2. Your own minor child, but only until they turn 21. Then the 10-year clock starts. And note, that's your child, not a grandchild. 3. A beneficiary who's disabled or chronically ill. They can stretch over their life. And 4. Anyone not more than 10 years younger than you, often a brother, a sister, a partner. Everybody else, your healthy adult kids, your grandkids, they're on the 10-year clock. And that's exactly where the tax bomb lives. So why is this a bomb and not just a rule? 2 words, ordinary income. Every dollar your kids pull out of a traditional inherited IRA gets taxed as ordinary income, stacked right on top of their salary. And here's the cruel timing. Your kids usually inherit in their 40s and 50s, their highest earning years, their highest tax bracket ever. Now picture the worst move, the one most people make without thinking. They let the account just sit, because touching it feels wrong. Then year 10 arrives, and the entire balance comes out at once, landing on their income like a meteor and rocketing them into the highest brackets. That single year is where a $500,000 IRA turns into a $143,000 tax bill. Let's walk the actual numbers. Before the numbers, one fork that changes everything. Was it a traditional IRA or a Roth? A traditional inherited IRA, every withdrawal taxed. A Roth inherited IRA still has the 10-year rule, but the withdrawals come out completely tax-free. Same 10-year clock, no detonation. So people ask the obvious question. Can my kids just convert the inherited traditional IRA to a Roth and dodge the tax? And the answer is no. The IRS does not let a non-spouse convert an inherited IRA to a Roth. That door is closed. Which means the fix isn't something your kids can do after you're gone. The real fix is something you do while you're still here. So here's how you defuse it. 4 moves, all on your side of the line. Move 1, and it's the big one. Roth conversions in your gap years. Those low-income years we covered in video 7, between retiring and starting Social Security and RMDs, you convert chunks of your traditional IRA to a Roth, pay the tax at your lower rate, and your kids inherit it tax-free. Move 2. Spread it. Name several kids or grandkids as beneficiaries, and that one big account splits into smaller pieces, each taxed in a lower bracket. Move 3. Be strategic about which account goes to whom. Leave the traditional IRA to charity, where it's never taxed, and leave the Roth, or assets that get a step up, to your kids. And move 4. For some families, using an IRA to fund life insurance creates a tax-free inheritance instead. That one really needs a CPA, but it's a tool worth knowing exists. Let's make it real with Richard and Martha's daughter, Susan. Susan's married. The household already makes about $150,000 a year, comfortably in the 22% bracket. She inherits mom and dad's $500,000 traditional IRA. Story 1. The trap. Susan can't bring herself to touch it, so she lets it sit and takes the whole thing in year 10. That year, her income jumps to $650,000, and that withdrawal gets taxed all the way up into the 35% bracket. The federal tax on that inheritance? About $143,000, nearly 30 cents of every dollar, gone in 1 year. Story 2. The smart way. Susan takes about $50,000 a year, every year, for 10 years, staying inside her 22–24% range. Total federal tax, around $110,000. Same inheritance, same rules. About $33,000 in difference, just from spreading it out instead of panicking. And if Richard had done Roth conversions first, Susan's bill could have been close to zero. So here's your action plan. 4 steps, while you can still take them. Step 1. Know what kind of IRA you're leaving. Traditional is a tax bomb to your heirs. Roth is tax-free. That difference is worth tens of thousands. Step 2. Look at your gap years. If you're retired and not yet taking RMDs, talk to a CPA about converting traditional money to Roth now, at your rate, so your kids never pay their rate. Step 3. Check your beneficiaries and warn your heirs. Make sure the right accounts go to the right people, and tell your kids the rule. Don't let it sit 10 years and panic. Spread it. Step 4. Get an estate plan, not just a beneficiary form. A CPA or estate attorney can line up the conversions, the charity, and the account to heir match. Start at irs.gov, publication 590B. And the usual warning: scammers love inheritances. Nobody legitimate calls you out of the blue offering to erase the tax on the IRA you leave your kids for a fee. These moves are free, legal, and yours. If someone calls selling that, hang up. If this saved your kids from a tax bill you never saw coming, or you know a parent about to leave an IRA behind, hit subscribe. I break down one retirement money trap every single week. Tell me in the comments, did you know the stretch IRA was gone? And are you planning to leave a traditional or a Roth? I read every one. Next time, the step up in basis, and why some of the assets you leave your kids are actually tax-free to them, while the IRA is a bomb. Get the order right, and you can pass on your home and your investments with almost no tax at all. If you've got a house, a brokerage account, and an IRA, you need that one before you decide who gets what. I'm Ray. Take care of your money and take care of each other. See you in the next one.